thank you to everyone who's in the audience, to everyone who's watching at home, everyone watching on YouTube, anyone watching on tape. This is the State of the City Address for 2016. And what a long way we've come since being dubbed the rottenest city on the Pacific Coast. I don't think there's an ounce of rotten left here in city government. And if you'd like it to stay that way, I encourage you all to get out the vote in November. As a matter of background, I was elected to City Council in November of 2014. And I am very honored to have the pleasure of serving as your mayor this year, alongside Vice Mayor Scott Donahue and my co-counsel Jack Asher, Nora Davis, and Ruth Atkin. Last year saw a lot of changes for Emeryville, not the least of which includes big changes in staff. We saw Carolyn Lair come on board. Welcome, Carolyn. Our city attorney, Michael Gina, was promoted from within our ranks. And we lured from Sausalito our chief of police, Jennifer Tejada. And I'm exceptionally proud to be working alongside these staff leaders and our other staff leaders who show me every day what modern, responsive, and ethical city governance looks like. In terms of progress, 2015 was a big year. We secured 15 years of funding for the Emeryville round, passing a Property and Business Improvement District, aka the PBID. Since there couldn't be any exemptions from this, we provided a senior rebate, which hopefully will ease that burden for some of our most vulnerable residents. 2015 also saw the adoption of the minimum wage ordinance, lifting the wage floor for our lowest paid workers. We've been widely profiled as having the highest citywide minimum wage in the country, and I'd like to thank Councilmember Ruth Atkin for her leadership on this issue. She really moved the needle and changed the conversation from being about a minimum wage to that of a living wage, and I really appreciate her leadership on that. With the consent of my colleagues on council, I have requested that the city study the effects of the minimum wage ordinance at the 1-year mark, so we have a true understanding of what the real impacts are here in Emeryville. In the arena of affordable housing, the city negotiated 11% affordable units at the upcoming Marketplace mixed-use project. Affordable housing continues to be one of the greatest challenges we face in the Bay Area, and I'm grateful that the city and the developers of this project were able to come to an agreement whereby we would not lose any ground on the percentage of affordable housing that we have here in Emeryville. 2015 was also the first complete year that we were able to see revenue from our recently enacted real property transfer tax, and here's where I give a shout out to Councilmember Jack Asher for bringing this forward, and to Nora Davis for co-signing a letter that gave her support to the initiative that brought this new tax. This past year, Emeryville provided expanded services to the community. Our rec program continues to meet the growing needs of families in Emeryville. The Emeryville Child Development Center, the city's very own infant through pre-K childcare facility, is undergoing a reorganization that will enable it to also increase its enrollment from the current 76 children to 102 children. Now, our senior center, while undergoing a major remodel to be completed in March of 2016, continues to serve the community while temporarily relocated between the rec center and the Emory Unified's Ralph Hawley campus. And there are some incredible numbers that speak to the value that the senior center provides. There are over 1,700 active adults who use the senior center, and there were almost 16,000 visits to the senior center in the past year. I think those are incredible numbers that I wanted to share. Emeryville truly is a first-class city, and its our community, expects and receives first-class service. And this upcoming year, some of those services will be offered at the Emeryville Center of Community Life, also known as ECCL, the campus on San Pablo that's a historic joint venture between the city of Emeryville and Emeryville Unified School District. In addition to the school, we're looking forward to a library, a community-based health and wellness center, aquatic youth and adult sports, and those are going to begin there in the summer of 2016, and you'll see me there if there are any martial arts. In the spring, we'll see the official opening of the Joseph Emery Skate Park, Although anyone who's been there on a sunny weekend knows that we've had the unofficial opening already, and skaters have been beta testing the site many times. The skate park offers a different take on the connectivity that we strive for in this community. And another element of that connectivity is the progress we've made with grant-funded bicycle improvements. One example of which is the Christie Avenue Bay Trail Gap, which now features protected bike lanes on Christie between Powell and Shellmound. And then something upcoming that we've got is the bicycle bridge, the bike pedestrian bridge that, that we've untied the redevelopment funds for, that we'd like to see at 53rd going into Bay Street. That's an exciting one that's hopefully going to happen soon. One element that connects our community in yet another way is our dedication to public art, and that's what this fine slide is. In 2015, the city made a purchase award of Jeff Marglin's striking piece, Dancing Hands, which is right outside of council chambers and also pictured here on the PowerPoint. It's really a magnificent piece. And also this year in 2016, we're going to see a dramatic installation called Electric Rainbow installed under the Powell Street Bridge at Shellmound. And we're also going to see a revision to our public art master plan, underscoring the community's ongoing support and appreciation of our rich arts community. And you guys can all check out emeryvillepublicart.com to submit ideas and take an online survey about the kind of art that you appreciate and want to see in Emeryville. Now, those are some of the highlights of our successes. There are countless examples of the work that's being done here on behalf of my council, on my colleagues on council, and on staff who are constantly doing things to make the city work better. I wish I could mention every detail, but you should just know that you have a really dedicated group of staff and elected officials that make me grateful every day that I live right here in Emeryville. And you may be wondering what 2016 has in store. Well, in addition to the myriad efforts it takes to keep things status quo, and what a great status quo we have, let me touch on some of the work that the city is going to be taking on in the near term. Emeryville is currently updating its climate action plan, which is our set of strategies to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. We've signed on to the Compact of Mayors, a United Nations effort to reduce climate impact worldwide. And a notable data point is that Emeryville has the lowest per household carbon footprint in the entire Bay Area. That's pretty incredible. We've seen an 18% reduction in greenhouse gas emissions per capita since 2004, and we're actively looking to make that even lower. The city is also working on a new sustainability webpage to showcase to our residents all of the programs available to you to waste less and become more energy efficient and save money, because there are a lot of programs out there that I think we could take advantage of. Right in line with our climate goals, we'll be making headway into a regional bike share program. I want to thank all the folks who attended the workshops last week to help us think about where we want to site our bike pods for the upcoming program. And we're also looking at opening up the city to a new point-to-point car sharing, which will be yet another much-needed option in last-mile transportation solutions. In 2016, we'll also be addressing the ongoing issues of tenant protections. A study session on just cause eviction and harassment protection will be coming forward before council this spring. And this may be just the groundwork for even more work in this critical arena. In the area of homelessness, staff continues to work with county and regional homeless organizations on a multi-pronged approach to improve outreach to people experiencing homelessness. In the area of small business, with the aid of the Economic Development Advisory Committee, the city will be considering options on how to best support our small businesses. Emeryville has long been considered a good place to do business, but there's more we can do for the small operations that are a part of our local fabric. I think there's sincere interest both in the community and on council to make this happen. Finally, there's some items that I'm bringing forward for the community and for my colleagues on council to consider. First up, and they've already heard this, medical marijuana. The city is in the process of assessing its options when it comes to lifting our ban on medical marijuana business. With the recent passage of the Medical Marijuana Research and Safety Act, California for the first time has a regulatory framework that could ostensibly lower the risk against federal enforcement. There are communities right around us, notably Oakland, Berkeley, and San Francisco, that allow and tax medical marijuana business, and they're able to take advantage of the revenue that otherwise would be in an underground economy. And I think it's news to no one that we already have patients right here in Emeryville that use marijuana as medicine. And we already have businesses making deliveries right here in Emeryville to patients. And it's my take that we should not only legitimize the use that Californians voted to allow way back in 1996 with the Compassionate Use Act, but we should also consider those businesses that could contribute to our bottom line, including the possibility of a well-run, secure, professional dispensary that could contribute to the wellness of our community. I'll also be bringing forward a Fair Workweek proposal, which is intended to provide a minimum of predictability to the lives of workers here in Emeryville. I intend to work with all stakeholders in order to arrive at the best solutions for Emeryville's businesses and workers alike, because I believe when workers have some stability and predictability in their schedules, they can better handle their family obligations, their academic dreams, and for some of them, the second and third jobs that they need just to survive here in the Bay Area. And we don't just want folks in Emeryville to survive, we want them to thrive. So I ask, in that vein, how do we impact the health of our own children? Unless we, as a society, take real action, 40% of children today are at risk of getting diabetes in their lifetime. The link between sugary drinks and diseases like diabetes is undeniable, and we, as a city, can have an impact on this crisis. With the city of Berkeley having paved the way in 2014, I will be bringing forward a proposed soda tax for my colleagues to consider placing on the 2016 ballot. So there's the big news. I think this is going to be an exciting year. I want to thank each and every appointee to our committees and commissions, all of our terrific staff, and especially my colleagues on council for their ongoing efforts to make Emeryville great, a place where rotten doesn't accurately describe our city officials, but playfully alludes to our shared past of a forward-looking city. And so that concludes my remarks. Thank you very much, and we'll be moving on with the agenda.